Alright, hello YouTube and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the first ending for Faruzan's Hangout quest. Which ending is it going to be? Well, look at the description below. You will see exactly which ending I'm going to get. I'm doing this blind, at least for the first ending, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Um, anyway, as far as Hangouts go, there's a total of 5 possible endings for Faruzan's Hangout. So eventually there will be 5 different videos in this playlist. So if there aren't 5, then that means they're releasing one per day until all 5 are out. So anyway, for Hangout quests, you can cash in your keys to get a Hangout quest unlocked whenever you want, because until you hit the button for go, nothing will actually be active in your quest log. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go now, and that will begin her Hangout from the beginning. All right, here we go. I was assuming we'd have to meet somewhere at the academia, which is not going to be the case. We're going to have to go to Parties Diva. Partis DI. So let's go ahead there and see how this is going to transpire. And I know Hangouts are not everyone's cup of tea. Personally, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. I like being able to get to know more about different characters, but usually it doesn't require me to do all 5 of the Hangouts to get the full experience. They do become redundant at times, but hey, get rewards for doing all 5. Let's do it.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you.
And enter me.
Oh, hey there!
Or enter the traveler, at least.
It's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City.
Why did you think of me?
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation. There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for this task.
More topics banned by the academia. I'm going to have to start making a list of these different topics.
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives.
Assuming we're talking about Faruzan.
You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher.
When you say very experienced...
Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research over the past 100 years has used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit, strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
try.
So do we really have to invite her here
Yes.
then?
Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up.
She get caught by the academia?
I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Sure thing.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you two. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go.
Sure thing. Now we're going to the academia.
Oh yes, and one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first. However, if you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
Okay. Sure thing. So, back to the academia we go. Fortunately, it wasn't the same teleport point I was just at, so it would make me feel like I went there and back again. And, go. And there she is.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add Madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Faruzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
She looks young.
Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
So she disappeared for 100 years. What happened to her? Wonder if this is going to go towards explaining the mystery behind the Traveler. The Traveler disappeared for 500. Looks the same as when they disappeared. And okay, so yeah.
Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kasharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam Faruzan? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm. Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the academia? Are you feeling better now? I'm much better, Madam Faruzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you. There's really no need. Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary Traveler?
Pleased to meet your acquaintance, madame.
Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kali's illness is...
Ahem. Madam Faruzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Sounds like some internal academia dispute that seems to have nothing to do with Tainari's request. I don't think either of these are going to go into a different branch, so let's just go with this.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day.
Polly seems like she wants to say something. Give me a moment with Polly.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well. What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Paradise DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
Help her resolve her current problem first. Let's think of some way to get her. Let's help her resolve her current problem first.
Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with.
That one might have been.
He'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons.
And I can stay and help Faruzan.
Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary.
You don't have to force yourself.
Okay then. I'm counting on you. Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay and help you. Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said,
Will I be troubling you?
No, no trouble at
Is
all.
that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kosharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
Let's hear about the collaborative project. I want to know more about that.
I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kosharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
You only said that you're a very senior researcher in the field of mechanism. You don't belong to Kasharward or Spontamod. Let's go with the second one.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kosharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge. Besides, the current Kosharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Kosharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
Wouldn't hurt to hear them out.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
Explains
The
how Colin
academia
knows
agreed
about
to
them.
work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madame Faruzan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii.
Alright, I'll take you there.
Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Well, so far so good. Good.
Archon be praised. I can finally send a report to my superiors. Thank you so much. I have no idea how we might have persuaded her otherwise.
Alright. Well, now we're gonna go to Port Ormos. Right over here. Not the most convenient of spots, but we can make do. So far, nothing has played out particularly bad. So far so good. And like I said, if as this Hangout series goes on, I will be having to replay some of this, get different results. But each different video will pick up where there's a deviation that goes to a different end. all that will make sense as you see the play.
Madame Faruzan! Oh, it's really you. Did you change your mind?
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Kasharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you are here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
By any chance, has it been very difficult for you to get funding for your research?
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Oh, that wasn't completely unexpected. Doesn't sound like she wants to join any other houses. Looks like any efforts to persuade her otherwise isn't gonna work. Our target.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're, Madame Faruzan?
Yes,
One and
that's
only.
me.
Oh, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anis thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those, yes. Please, help yourself.
Okay. See what she comes up with.
You're done already?
Oh, it's Tower of Hanoi.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Wait till you hear the rest of the rules.
When moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Okay, sure.
Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
It is It's a real thing. It's called Tower of Hanoi.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Huh? Okay, then.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
It's actually a way to determine how many steps is the minimum number. It's 2 to the n minus 1, where n is the number of.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
They're lured in by the promise of a different toy. They're lured in by a promise. Yeah.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
Done. It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
Okay, so what? Let me think about this. So there are, I think I saw 3 rings. So it should be 2 to the third minus 1. So 2 to the third is 8 minus 1. So it should take, so the minimum number of steps that should take is 7.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Now it's 5 layers. So 2 to the 5 minus 1. See if I can do this in my head. So 2 to the 4 is 16. Multiply that by 2 is 32. Minus 1 is 31 steps.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
Doesn't make it harder, it just means it takes longer.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This Pagoda Stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
Okay, see if you've been paying attention. How many steps should it take? Remember, it's 2 to the 7, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 minus 1. So 2 to the 5 we showed was 32. So multiply that by 2, you get 64. Multiply that by 2 again, you get 120. Minus 1, 127. These kids are going to be here for a while.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out.
Yeah.
Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
Oh wow. I calculated this before she said it. But yes, it's 127. Remember, 2 to the 7 minus 1 is 128 minus 1, which is 127.
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly. Let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, I used to play with this puzzle back when I was in high school, so I'm very well familiar with this. And yes, you can adding more rings doesn't technically make it complicated. Make it more complicated because once you understand the process of moving the rings from one side to the other and back again and forward and back and forward and back, you can just do it, and you'll get it done in a minimum amount of steps as long as you keep concentration. That's really what all Tower of Hanoi is about, whatever they called it. What did they call it again? I keep calling it Tower of Hanoi because that's what it is, but I know they called it something. Anyway, it is a very interesting puzzle. I do recommend it. Is I wouldn't put it as like really early learning. High school age is probably about the right time for something like this. You could even older, you can still have a good time figuring this out. But yeah, that I long since remembered that it's what the minute how to calculate the minimum steps for Tower of Hanoi. So it's interesting that they used that in this game, and it's probably just as well that they didn't actually call it Tower of Hanoi since Hanoi doesn't exist in that.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madam Faruzan, it takes 127 steps in total.
Yep,
That
exactly.
many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the Pagoda Stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy.
More accurate require double the steps plus 1. That does sound right. Let me think about this. So if there's just 1 ring, it takes 1 step to clear. There's 2, it takes 5. So no, it takes 3. My bad. It's minus 1. So yeah, that's right. So that would be 4. That would be she double 2 plus 1 makes it 3. It's another way of going through the same formula. So yeah, that does check out. Yeah, that does.
The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the
Pagoda
simplest
Stack
kind
is
when it
what
comes
you
to
call it.
ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah, when can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course! I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making.
So I should come back in 2 days.
You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank
This
you
seems
for
to be
coming here
going
with
pretty
me
good
today.
so far.
I'll walk back with you.
I got an achievement. Didn't see what the achievement was, but we're still going. Have to leave Port Ormuz. Buddy. This way. Or do we want to talk to everyone first?
Is Madam Faruzan really going to mentor me? What an honor. I'm sure she'll say helping with illustrations isn't mentoring. So, don't tell her I said that.
No wonder she's so well respected at the academia. When I first saw her, I thought she might be unreliable because she's so young. Don't let her know I said that. Anise warned me about that before.
I almost want to see it happen so I can see the result. Oops, sorry.
We need to wait 2 whole days before we get the new toys?
It might just be all reference stuff. It'll be a long time before we can play with the real toys.
Guess all we can do is play Genius Invocation TCG in the meantime.
Well, good thing NPCs are invincible. On with the game. I guess I should say they're invincible in this game. For the right circumstances.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly as I can.
Yes. Which one should we ask her about? Let's ask her about Anise.
Anise? We haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her.
Why don't you take her on as your student?
Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Ksharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run.
I see, I hadn't considered that.
However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, that would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
Do you have any ideas?
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Try to be accurate and detailed, or try to keep it simple and fun? Accurate and detailed.
You're right. Explanations are a core part of early developments, too. By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit students. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
Right, 2 days. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, time to fast forward time to... That is exactly 2. If it's 2 calendar days, we're in trouble. I don't want to break up this video. Especially the first. But I think this is what they meant by it, so. I'm just curious, what was the achievement of that? There are some secret achievements for the Hangouts, so obviously I got one. Guess correctly the smallest number of moves it'll take to solve a 7-layer Pagoda Stack. Okay, technically I didn't guess. I kind of deduced what it was, so but okay, good enough. Conference here. Well, that's a good thing, because if you watch this video, you know what the answer is now, and you also know why it's the answer.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
And you're just starting to set
My
up the
masterpiece
venue?
is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the Academia shall say about it this time. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in various ruins. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
How did things turn out like this? I feel like I'm in class.
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any of it at all.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the mechanisms Madame Faruzan's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
No?
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
Oh, we got one person interested.
How did this happen?
Not our.
Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instructions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time. I'll write another reference book.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Yes. Who are you?
Ah, you're that man Mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something happen?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with these toys?
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, this booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the Academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or another.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
Well, there better not be an issue at the Academia.
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the Academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is this much.
And that's our first ending. Knowledge is wealth. Okay. Well, boy, I have a feeling this is gonna be hard to top this ending as far as having a good ending. But you know me, I will give it my all. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and maybe you'll be looking on Amazon to look for your own Tower of Hanoi so you can try it out yourself. Probably not, but I might as well put that out there. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Consider subscribing to this channel. Follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see me play live. Leave a note in the comments if you had anything that you particularly enjoyed or think I could do better. I don't think I'm gonna be able to top this in the next 4 endings, but I'm certainly gonna try. Will I or will I not? Find out in the next video.